Sugar City Morning Show.
A pleasant good morning and welcome to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's a minute after 7 o'clock. It's a pleasure without no measure to be here in your company. Thank God it is another beautiful, cool morning. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas morning in Orange Walk. My name is Dylan Jones, and trust that wherever you are in your neck of the woods, everything is fine, or how would say, mighty fine and dandy with you. You know, some people look forward to these types of weather to wake up in the morning at 5:30 and just get round the fire hot and start to press pan the comal and last thing somebody think about a wash the clothes, cause cold or water cold, put your hand in a scrubbing board and bath pan and a joke. But nevertheless, thank God that we're up for the all and anything, whether you like it or not, because last night some people got sleep and they wake up dead this morning. Or as we would say in Spanish, se fue a dormir y se levantó muerto. I want to say good morning to you all. If you're just joining us, we're transmitting live from Orange Walk Town, Sugar City, on San Lorenzo Road. And I want to remind you that you can reach us at 302-2170 or call us at text us at 626-4882 or Emmanuel number at
635-7436.
By the way, good morning, Emmanuel.
By the way, good morning to you, Dylan.
So, you alright, man?
I'm good.
Alright, everything blessed. Once Emmanuel don't get kick to go coffee, he's set,
Set
for good.
Set.
So what are you going, Papa? Everything?
I'm doing good, thanks. And I'm doing much better after I just read this.
Hold it down. We're
this
bringing.
report.
Yeah,
Oh no, we're not gonna. I'm not gonna talk about it. But I'm just telling you that what my emotions are based on is because I have this report.
Yeah, definitely. So friends, every morning we get up, we need. If you haven't started yet, let me advise you to start giving thanks and praise to the Almighty for every move we done. And I listened to a preacher the other day, Emmanuel, and he said that when you wake up in the morning, you should ask God every morning, what's your plans for me? Because sometimes you might have one plan yesterday, and then you don't know if God will change your plan today. So you go upon the same thing, because you never ask, and then work, then you get frustrated. But if you ask God, what you got planned for me today? What you want to do? Talk to me. And everything are good. So we're going to turn to Emmanuel to lead us.
And don't expect God to answer you and tell you, I want you to go Mehiba Street instead of you've been going on Guadalupe Street all the while.
No,
Everything
God speaks to you in a different way.
Everything comes through inspiration.
He talks to you in a different way. Like you say, if you want to buy a blue bike today, ask God, should I buy a blue bike? And if you buy a blue bike, you buy a blue bike.
And I think that he would easily tell you buy a red one.
Yeah, because God don't know him. Yeah.
God don't know you.
That's right. Emmanuel will lead us in that word of prayer this morning to get the morning started.
And that was meant as a joke, obviously.
Yeah.
Buenos días, compañeros. Muy buenos días. Siempre un gran gusto saludarles. Hoy es martes y hoy es el 8 de noviembre. Si es que cumples años, muchas felicidades. Si es que estás celebrando aniversarios, también que la pases de maravilla. Entiendo de que nuestra señal llega más allá de nuestras fronteras. La gente de la ribera del río Hondo, a través de, al otro lado del río Hondo, muy buenos días. Sé que nos ven, me lo contaron, me lo confirmaron de que lo ven claro, que Canal 10 se ve clarito ahí. ¿Qué tal? Muy buenos días. Y también saludos a todos los que nos ven dentro de nuestras fronteras, desde Corozal hasta Toledo, desde la ciudad de Belice hasta el Benque. Muy buenos días. Como siempre, aquí dándole gracias a nuestro Creador. Y ayer hice mención de algo hablando con ciertos individuos de que por lo general solo cuando dices ya es tiempo de orar simplemente salen palabras de tu boca y ya luego no tienes conciencia de lo que dices. Y así rápidamente lo dices, te presionas y acabó. Eso es tu responsabilidad. Y no va así. No, así enteramente. Simplemente te pido un momento de contacto contigo mismo, un momento sincero, un momento humilde, un momento haciendo contacto con tu interior, diciendo, hoy le doy las gracias a quien sea, a un poder superior, porque hoy reconozco que estoy vivo y hay que darle gracias a eventualmente este poder superior va a tomar forma y vas a entonces a empezar a creer que hay un Dios y que ese Dios te quiere y te ama y hace todo por ti. Y sí, te pide que quieras a tu prójimo y que lo ayudes y que lo cuides. Padre, yo te doy las gracias porque hoy estoy vivo, hoy me levanté, caminé, comí, respiré, vi, y por eso yo te lo agradezco, Padre. Te doy las gracias porque no tuvo que ser así. También, Padre, te doy las gracias por la buena salud y las fuerzas que tengo para venir a chambear y poder ganarme la lana dignamente y honestamente. Y también te lo agradezco. Te agradezco también, Padre, el bienestar que le das a todos mis familiares, a mis amistades, a mis compañeros de trabajo, en fin, a todos nosotros. Gracias, Padre, por todas esas bendiciones que nos das. Te pido que continúes dándonos esas bendiciones. Te pido, Padre, que nos ilumines, que nos guíes, que nos dirijas hacia donde tú quieres que vayamos. Tú nos has dado los dones, tú nos has dado todo, cada individuo con un don para poder sobresalir, porque cada cabeza es un mundo. Y nadie puede decir es idéntico al otro. Y cada uno tiene un futuro, cada uno tiene un plan. Tú tienes, Padre, un plan para cada uno de nosotros. Y a veces, la gran mayoría del tiempo, no respondemos a este plan, porque no lo reconocemos. Permítenos, Padre, llegar a ese nivel donde llegamos a reconocer ese plan que tú tienes para nosotros. Y que nos podamos tener las fuerzas, el coraje y el valor para llevar a cabo ese plan. Padre, muchas gracias por todo. Permítenos hoy ser mejores personas. Permítenos hoy, Padre, ser dignos de tus bendiciones. Y como siempre, pidiéndote para los enfermos, las enfermas y para todas las personas que están pasando por tiempos difíciles. Padre, guíanos, ayúdanos. Te pedimos hoy, Padre, por la paz, por la igualdad, por el respeto ajeno, por la justicia, por esas cosas muy importantes que nos permiten tener una vida feliz y pacífica. Padre, muchas gracias, te bendecimos y adoramos siempre. Amén.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. It's 10 minutes after the 7 o'clock hour. We're going to go to a weather report in English, and then from there, Emmanuel picks it up back in Spanish for us. It says here the weather report for today, Tuesday, the 8th of November, 2016, at 6 a.m. this morning. General situation, generally fair conditions will prevail today, then a split increase in moisture is expected. For the 24 forecast, it will be sunny with a few cloudy spells today and partly cloudy tonight. Showers or thunderstorms will be generally isolated except for a few over the sea and northern coastal areas, then increasing along the coast tonight. The winds will be blowing northeast at 5 to 15 knots, sea state choppy. The weather advisory out is none. There's no weather advisory out. The further weather outlook for Wednesday and Wednesday night is for some cloudy spells with a few showers, periods of rain and isolated thunderstorms mostly over the sea and the coastal areas. The temperatures on the highest today on the coast 30 degrees Celsius, 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Inland 32 degrees Celsius, 90 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the hills 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit. So inland rather relatively warm. We're looking at 90. It's warm. The lows for tonight on the coast 24 degrees Celsius, 75 degrees Fahrenheit. Excuse me. In the inland 20 degrees Celsius, 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the hills 18 degrees Celsius, 64 degrees Fahrenheit. The tides, there'll be a low tide at 10:54 a.m. and a high at 4:56 p.m. For tomorrow, Wednesday, there'll be a low at 10:58 p.m. and a high at 4:41 a.m. That's for tomorrow, Wednesday. The sunrise will rise tomorrow, at 5:55 a.m. and the sun will set at 5:18 p.m. The moon will rise at 12:55 p.m. and the moon will set at 12:52 p.m. That's a weather report brought to you through the kind courtesy of the Met Office, that is, and M. Gentle and M. Smith, meteorologists, who posted up the website, the weather report. And at 13 after 7, we bring it to you now in Spanish para la gente que habla español y entiende español. Easy like that.
Y muy buenos días de nuevo, compañeros. Un gran gusto saludarles. Y son las 7:13. Este es el reporte del tiempo para hoy, martes 8 de noviembre. Y este reporte generado a las 6 de la mañana indica que hoy vamos a tener buen tiempo. Generalmente buen tiempo. Y hoy sí se espera un incremento pequeño, pero sí bien pequeño, en lo que es la humedad. Es más, la posibilidad de un chubasco u otro ya luego por la noche o para mañana. Pero para hoy, buen tiempo. ¿Ok? Para las siguientes 24 horas, soleado con algunos periodos de nubosidad hoy durante el día, parcialmente nublado por la noche, chubascos de tormentas completamente aisladas, excepto sobre el mar y sobre las áreas costeras del norte, y luego aumentando tantito por la noche. Así que hoy durante el día, bien. Por la noche es posible que tengamos chubascos. Una posibilidad pequeña, no es una gran posibilidad. Los vientos del noreste de 5 a 15 nudos, el estado del mar agitado, no hay ninguna advertencia en lugar, y quiero decirles que gracias a Dios no tenemos ningún sistema de baja presión que nos presente alguna amenaza enteramente. No hay advertencias, como dije. Se espera que para miércoles y miércoles por la noche tengamos periodos de nubosidad con algunos chubascos, periodos de lluvia y tormentas aisladas, especialmente sobre el mar y sobre áreas costeras. Las temperaturas por la costa, las altas 86, en el interior 90, por las colinas 77 grados, y las bajas por la costa 75, en el interior 68, y por las colinas 64 grados. Las mareas, una marea baja hoy por la mañana a las 10:54, una marea alta a las 4:56, otra marea baja a las 10:58 hoy por la noche, y luego otra marea alta a las 4:41, pero eso es hasta mañana por la madrugada. El sol se oculta hoy a las 5:18. El sol sale mañana a las 6:05. La luna de igual forma sale a la 1:05 hoy por la tarde y se oculta, a la 1:08 mañana por la madrugada. Y le damos las gracias a Forecaster Gentle y Smith por esta información, y también a nuestros patrocinadores, siempre fielmente el honorable señor Gaspar Vega y su familia, el señor Joman Vega, Hungerman Water y también le damos las gracias a Albion Transportation y esta estación de televisión. Chequi?
16,
Connection back.
16 minutes after 7 o'clock, we take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
With PTL, paying is easy, rewarding is free, especially when you pay early. All PTL and Digicel postpaid customers who pays their bill 5 days before the due date will be entered into our grand raffle to get a chance to win a 55-inch HD TV, courtesy of Quartz Belize, and 1 year free high-speed internet service. Drawing date December 23rd. Plus, 5 lucky customers will win $100 free credit every month until the final drawing. Visit the office to update your account information, and you can also get extra chances to win. We want you to win, so pay early and get into the raffle. Paying is easy, rewarding is free, only with BTL.
BTL, it's all about you.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Buster. They see you and know you're living. Always a star. Yes, you live in color to the limit. Large and in charge. Yes, that's why you rock with Buster. Refreshing range of colorful flavors. Always a star, never the audience. You run things, things never run you. Yes, you are the life of it, not just a part of it. Your life is never black and white. Live in full color. Buster.
Mr. Persenio claims that he wants to imprison anyone named in immigration wrongdoing.
Once we get into government, we are going to go through this, and anybody that can be held criminally liable, we are going to hold them liable, and if they have to go to jail, they are going to go to jail. Enough is enough.
But even your name is there. I signed for recommending a visa. I signed. It's an international person. I can't.
I have no
but it's there in the visa one. That's my point. It's in the visa one. I think that's. I saw it once. I saw it.
I did not. I don't remember ever. Please show me the page.
Are Johnny and the PUP ready to lead?
You know your baby is happy when wearing baby pampers. Baby pampers in all sizes. Baby pampers make your baby happy. Available at German Vega and Sons.
Listen up, Belize. Digicel will be launching its brand new 4G LTE network in December of this year. But to enjoy the super fast LTE mobile data speeds, you are going to need 3 things. First, you will need an LTE capable device, band 2 or 17. If you're not sure whether your device is LTE capable, you can simply check your phone settings. And if you plan on getting a new phone, be sure to ask if the phone is LTE capable and has the right band, 2 or 17. The second step is to change your old SIM card to the new USIM to be able to experience maximum LTE speeds. Beginning November, BTL will swap out the USIMs free of charge for everyone who has a 4G LTE device. All SIM cards will continue to work as per usual, but you won't be able to enjoy the full 4G LTE experience. And the last step? Well, the last step is to get a data plan. Whether you're a prepaid or a postpaid customer, we have plans to suit you. so no one has to miss out on the Digicel 4G LTE revolution. So, LTE capable device, USIM card, data plan. Let's get ready for the December launch.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Get serious. Get bopped.
Johnny Briceño and the PUP went to Belmopan to declare all their assets to the National Assembly. But did they declare everything? Yes, Johnny, bring back the people's money.
Bienvenidos compañeros, cuando son las 7:23. Today we have an invited guest, but not just any invited guest. And we're not dealing with any topic here, just any topic. We're dealing here with a topic that is very, very, very close to the hearts of many, many people, because we're recognizing and paying tribute to people who gave of themselves limitlessly. Today we're talking Puppy Day, and it's my distinct pleasure to welcome Mr. Pelayo to the show.
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Pelayo.
Good morning.
Ever since I was a kid, we used to go to, there was a day when we were given those red little puppies at school and told, it's Puppy Day. And this is when we recognize those people who have given of themselves and given their lives to the preservation of the world per se. Because at the end of the day, if we're left to somebody else's devices, we could easily have been destroyed. But we fought because we believed in the cause. Sir, welcome to the show. Today is the Puppy Day, am I right? Today is...
Began from the 1st of October to leading up to November 13th.
Leading up to November 13th.
Which is then the ceremony.
Which is then the
to
ceremony.
Celebrate the life.
We see that the Governor General goes then and places wreaths to
in Belize City
in
Memorial
Belize
Park.
City at the Memorial
Yes.
Park for those people who gave of their lives and who took part in the battles, you know. Notably, which of the battles are we talking about here?
We are talking mainly about World War II.
World War II, which happened 1939,
1939 to 1945. And but when the ex-services league, which takes care of all the veterans, started, they also took care of those who took part in World War I.
Oh.
But all those who used to be alive during World War II from World War I have passed away. So we ended up with World War II veterans then. And those are the ones that are taken care of. In Belize we had 21 still surviving from World War II. And 2 passed away, so we ended up with 19. So we have 19 surviving members from World War II. Some are in their 80s because they joined very young. Some are in their 90th because they joined a little bit older.
But when you say we obviously were under Britain at the time. We were British subjects.
Well,
right?
we still are British subject behind the Commonwealth.
Yeah,
the Queen still head of state.
Right, but more importantly, we're Belizeans now. We are independent. But back then, our nationality was British.
British Hondurans.
We were not Belizeans. It's not until September 21st, 1981, we proudly became Belizeans. But my point is very simple. Back then, we were actually requested by Britain to take part in against the Allied forces and so forth. But where did we participate? Where did our people go?
When let me begin by saying, from in the late 1800s, British Honduras were already a colony. And when Great Britain went to war against France, when they went to the Boer War, what they call it, the Boer War in South Africa, Britain asked for people from the Caribbean to help because they were charter soldiers. And then British Honduras, from then British Honduras sent a group of people to join Jamaica. Both of them made a strength of probably 100 and change, and they went off to United Kingdom to fight for England in South Africa. From then, we began sending people. World War I, same thing. World War II, the same thing. And when the war started in World War II, it's like God sent. Some people said,
really?
because British Honduras was in a dire strait. Employment was minimal.
Okay, so
money was not available for everybody. There was nothing to do to earn to make a living. So when that came about, people say, "Well, I'm going to fight. I want to get paid." So they started to get people together. But one problem existed for British Honduras, and especially British Honduras, I could say, is that we had slaves in the country before World War II, and the stigma between white and black still existed up to World War II and after. And when Britain asked for people for British Honduras to go and fight, there was a major problem that the white people in Belize, in British Honduras, had a meeting, and they started to discuss black and white, and they say, we are going to put weapons in a black man's hand. We are going to train a black man to fight. They say, you know what will happen to us if they rebel against us? They want don't train, so they want to hurt us. And one of the other stigma too, they said that a black man must never be allowed to kill a white man. A white man had to kill a white man. So when they went to war, they went to England, they found it very, very strange that they went to be soldiers over there to fight. But they ended up working in the stores, in the kitchen, in the hospitals, and stuff like that. They didn't actually go to fight.
They were not
until later, when the British Army found themselves running out of white soldiers, then they started to decide, make we try the Caribbean people. And I'll tell you, when they tried them and they went into battle against the German, especially in Egypt, they excelled 100%. The white people, they were completely amazed.
So they were actually deployed in Egypt and also in the Middle East?
Egypt, Italy, India, they went to Turkey, they went to...
Could they have been in Iraq as well at one time or the other in that area?
No. Iraq wasn't mentioned.
Okay.
But the entire region...
Why is it that we have a separate area in Belize City called Mesopotamia? And I gather that a number of those streets were named after cities or areas in the Middle East, in recognition of the participation of the Belizean soldiers. We're talking here, the entire area being Mesopotamia. We're talking here Tigris Street, we're talking here Cairo Street, we're talking here Euphrates, we're talking here Amara, entire sections of Belize.
Well, that, honestly, I can't answer that. Because all the books I've read, I haven't found any
That's what I learned.
anything in the books that state
was
about anything. But Mesopotamia was a war, a theater of war.
That what Emmanuel said, I heard that some couple of years ago on the radio. Around the same time they were discussing it.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
And they said that when the veterans returned, you know, these were areas that they were fighting and visited. So,
you have Tigris,
right.
you have Euphrates, you have Amara, you have Cairo, you have Mosul,
right.
You have, and if you come to think of it, you know, there are about 10 or so streets in Belize City named after areas in Mesopotamia in recognition of those people who went to that area. But you're right, they went, it was a war-stricken zone.
Region.
Yeah,
and
it was not well defined. It was, I think, still under, perhaps maybe way back then, still under the Ottoman Empire. I don't know. I don't recall that.
But one of the thing that is a bit you know, not too comforting to read the history of those people going to war. The records of Belize, of Population Honduran who went to war is sometimes confusing because you get a history book written by someone and you read it and it says something about British Honduran going to war, etc., etc. You then get another history book written by somebody else, then it's conflicting with this one. Date would change, time would change, places would change, and things like that. But what I would like to mention for the public at large is that our people that went from here, a lot of them were uneducated. Because in those days, and I am using the words that is used in the history book, the black people in those times, even up to the Second World War, they were not allowed access to an education. They were found to be less than the white who need the education. The blacks don't need it because they will work in the field. And not only them.
We're talking here 1939 to 1945,
yes,
right?
It still existed, yes. And not only them, but we had the Chinese, we had the Irish, we had the British people from the lower class of British people who are in Belize on what they call it, the indentured labor. You come here, you work for 5 years, you get freedom, you go back home or something. They were not allowed that top-notch education. So when our people started to go to war to England, they didn't find them too appealing because somebody could sign their own name. Then that's why this thumb thing come about, whereby you sign the paper with your thumb. But they work. Our people left Belize. Do you know how much they used to get paid a day?
Maybe $1 a day?
They used to get paid while waiting for the ship to sail away 76 cents a day.
I almost hit it, 76 cents.
76 cents a day. And they went off to England, and there was a ship that took 600. They took about 100 from Belize, and then the remainder from the Caribbean on one ship. And out of that 600, only 100 was available to go with the British and get ready. 500 of them were completely sick. Up to about 115 boarded the ship from Belize, went off to Jamaica, joined the crowd, went to Bahamas, joined the remainder there, and set sail. 120 reaching England had to be sent right back to Belize months after. They didn't even see what is
physically sick, or they were?
They were physically sick, but this 115, they went to England with 2 legs. They were sent back home with 1 leg. On the ship, they got sick. On reaching England, They had to amputate one leg. All of them.
What
because they catch frostbite.
What they call on the ship?
On the ship. Because the ship were not heated, the ship was some of the ships were extremely cold and they were put way down in the bottom in the ship. So the cold start affecting everybody, and one of them, it was mentioned that one of the Belizean soldiers wanted to actually take his own leg and push it in a tube on the ship and wrench it off itself because the pain was too much. All these big white bumps, when they squeeze it, like slush come out of it. The rough, when they reach England, they got paid, they started to get paid $3 a week to go to war. You imagine somebody go to war for $3 a week? $3, well, £3 I should say, because they were in England. £3 a week.
Did you receive it or did your family receive it?
No, they received it when they decided to pay them, but a lot of them didn't get paid any at all.
Didn't get paid any.
No. They returned back home, no money.
A lot of them stayed behind. I know of a number of people who stayed behind in England and Scotland, Belizeans, who never came back.
They didn't come back, but they were given the option after the war.
After the war.
After the World War II was ended, they were given the option to go back home or some to stay. But majority came back home because even though the British were extremely friendly with the Caribbean people, they after the war they were not wanted anymore.
Just so the general public begins to put this in perspective, Mr. Pelayo, can you just quickly give them the context of the World War II, where which side Belize was participating on, just quickly, and against whom we were fighting? Well,
the Belizeans were fighting for Great Britain because they are the owners, you could say, of British Honduras.
It was a grand British Empire, right?
Yes, and they were fighting against the Germans and the Turks, and some Italians. They were fighting against Italians too, who sided with the Germany.
And Great Britain was allied with
almost the entire Europe area.
Was the United States a part of it?
United States entered World War II after the bombing of Pearl Harbor, 1942.
Exactly.
And because they took so long to enter the war, a lot of ships got sunk in the Caribbean by German torpedoes. And people don't know that. People don't know that the war came to Belize. They don't know that. But over...
can you explain that? How, when you say the war came to Belize?
When the war started in 1942, the Caribbean and Central America said to themselves, well, war broke out, it's over 3,000 miles away, we won't be bothered. We won't be bothered at all.
Oh, okay,
but the Germans, who already knew that America will enter the war, started to close in to the Caribbean. They tried to find out what is happening. And when the Caribbean and Latin America get to know about the war, is when one night in St. Lucia, suddenly people heard two huge bang. And everybody run towards the sea because that's where the bang came from. And they saw two ships burning. And that is when somebody saw something sailing out towards the ocean through the lee channel, going back out. And they then realized that yes, the information they received about German submarines sighted
is real.
And the Germans were so casual that they didn't even submerge. They float right along looking at the coastline and laughing and waving to some people after they blew up two ships in Lucia. And right there it continued. And it is then that the whole entire Caribbean and Central America started to get people embodied.
Was literally brought into war.
Yes, brought into the war.
Right.
And
Now, well, we understand.
one little fellow I would like to mention when World War II started, there was a young boy, a little boy from Grenada. He has a strange name. He named Cosmos Cape. That's the name of the child. And he wanted to do something to help the war because he was too young to go to fight. So the Catholic priests in Grenada employed him for one day, or probably about 3 days, and paid him 6 cents a day to ring the Catholic bell. As soon as they got the message that England is at war with Germany, as soon as they got that message, they paid him 6 cents a day, climb up the steeple from the church, and hang on a rope. Whole day that child is ringing, just keep going for 6 cents a day, warning people that they need them to come. Then that called the people them. You know, because in the old days they used to ring church when they want you come. The bell rather. Ring the bell and then you come to church. It's like a warning. It's a calling station, you could say.
Signal.
Yeah, signal. So people then came and then they got the message and then people start getting ready to war and to go to England. But the war came to Belize and right in front of Texas in the Gulf of Mexico, a German submarine that was sunk, the U-boat 166. Just 1 year and a half ago, it was found in the Gulf of Mexico, under this ocean. And they were going to bring it up as a museum piece, but they had a huge meeting and they said, no, we can't touch that. Leave it alone because it is a grave site. Because there was over 30 of them people. Yeah. And so we don't know if the bones deteriorated or the bones are still locked in the submarine.
I would imagine that's still locked because
So
it's cold down at the bottom.
Yeah, they decide to leave it alone, but they found that already. And there's much more all over the Caribbean that were sunk by the American and British ships.
It's exactly 7:43. We'll take a commercial break and we'll be back. What a discussion this morning, a bit of history on wars and how Belize played a very important role. We're talking to Mr. Pelaya here this morning, an ex-military man, ex-soldier, serving the Belize Defense Force for so many years, and hopefully before we leave Emmanuel, we can get a little breakdown on his service to Belize. We'll be right back.
Government investment in sporting and recreational facilities countrywide continues under the Belize Infrastructure Limited. In the Cayo District, the Victor Galvez Recreational Park, the Falcon Field Basketball Court, and the Santa Elena Football Field are all completed and being enjoyed by the community. The Penquevejo Marshallek Football Stadium is under construction and residents are eagerly anticipating its completion. In Dangriga, the upgrading of the Carl Ramos football field is complete and ready for matches, while the construction of the Dangriga indoor court and multipurpose facility is well underway. In Punta Gorda, the residents are already enjoying the upgraded Toledo Union football field, while the PG indoor court and multipurpose facility is progressing on schedule. The government is committed to building vibrant communities. Your vision, our mission, the government of Belize.
There's no need to go across the border to enjoy sun, sand, and crystal blue waters. Belize's northern islands and reef are just a boat ride away. Go slow and immerse yourself into the Caribbean Sea or enjoy some fresh coconut water. Or pick up the pace on an island where locals can enjoy sandy beaches by day and feast on your fresh catch by night. Discover the Mesoamerican Barrier Reef and submerge yourself into another world where you can experience a traffic jam you will want to return. You can also make new friends along the way. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Oh my god, like seriously? Right away,
Get the lowest rates to more cell, business, and home phones on the country's largest network.
My credit lasts longer, so I could keep up to date.
Belize. Check out our brand new website, www.digicel.bz. Get live chat help on any device, the latest in 4G phones, and see what's up with all our awesome Digicel promotions. Log on today.
Across the country, development and transformation continue under this government. The new Guanacaste roundabout at the junction of the Hummingbird and the George Price highways is complete and one to be proud of. The George Price Highway is being rehabilitated from the Belmopan Junction to Benque Viejo. There will be a new baking pot bridge and upgrade of the Caracol Road. Also, the new Macal River bypass and bridge will be completed by March 2017. In the Belize district, the work has already started from the Hallover Bridge to the Philip Golson Airport, and funding has now been secured for the new link road to span the Belize River starting from behind Gentrack and coming out at Mile 8 on the George Price Highway. A $40 million UK grant has been secured for the paving and aligning of the coastal road and construction of new bridges. Under this same grant, the Philip Golson Highway will be improved between Orange Walk and Corozal. This government continues to work for the development of Belize. Your vision, our mission.
With BTL, paying is easy, rewarding is free, especially when you pay early. All BTL and Digicel postpaid customers who pay their bill 5 days before the due date will be entered into our grand raffle to get a chance to win a 55-inch HD TV, courtesy of Quartz Belize, and 1 year free high-speed internet service. Drawing date December 23rd. Plus, 5 lucky customers will win $100 free credit every month until the final drawing. Visit the office to update your account information, and you can also get extra chances to win. We want you to win, so pay early and get into the raffle. Paying is easy, rewarding is free, only with BTL.
BTL, it's all about you.
You know your baby is happy when wearing baby pampers. Baby pampers in all sizes. Baby pampers make your baby happy. Available at German Vega and Sons.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. 10 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Quite some very interesting history.
Yes, yes. And I am particularly, I don't know if a lot of people of the older folks would know, because I remember as a child, my mother would always tell me that Talital se fue a la guerra, Talital se fue a la guerra, Talital estuvo en la guerra. Some of them never came back, some of them came back amputated, some of them came back sick, some of them came back 5-6 years ago with kids, wife and kids.
So you're saying that some of them went to the war but never saw action?
Never saw action because
Majority never
they
saw
were sick.
action.
Well, quite a lot of them, they didn't see action. Okay. Because of the
atmosphere.
The atmosphere. They always took them when winter was approaching in Great Britain and that area. And in British Hondurans, They were clad. They were clothes very thin, and the people them that put them together for them to sail to Great Britain didn't take into consideration that these are people who were born under the sun, were hot, and took them into the snow.
I don't know if perhaps I'm taking things for granted because I watch TV and about all that. But generally on those frigates, don't they have blankets and so forth?
Well, on this time and age, they even have heater in the ships. But yes, they have blankets, they have other things, but the blankets, they didn't like, if they have 100 people on board a ship, working on a ship, they probably would have 120 blankets. Maybe 20 was spare. They wouldn't have up to 1,000 or so blankets, knowing that they are going to be picking up people from the Caribbean to take to Great Britain. The people them used to live bad on those ships.
You think it was a plain oversight or a complete disregard for human?
No, I think no oversight. I think that the planning was not really up to scratch the way it is today.
Well, the planning was not up to scratch. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to recognize at this moment, and I think that it's very important that I mention this, and you must be wondering, or maybe perhaps you must be in your own saying, tal y tal persona fue a la guerra, pero solo quizás sepas de una persona. You may only know about one or two people. I have a list here of what, 36 people? 36 people who we know. Then this is not all. Am I right, Mr.
No, that's not all. The list is long.
This is not all. There's a long list. But what we can compile of the forestry unit that ended up in Scotland.
In Scotland, yes.
For the Second World War between 1939 to 1945. I have here a list of 20 people. Albert A. Foreman, Winston Mosiah. A lot of these names will ring bells. Hubert Wade, Andrés Na, Evaristo Reyes, Donicio Llamas, Samuel Gentle, Pedro Aragon, Pedro Chell. This is George Avilés, Guillermo Mendoza, Alberto Espinosa, Herbert Reynolds, Selvin Smith, Joe Volga, Clarence Brown, Victor Johnson, Adolfo Vasquez, Ignacio Vega. That's not a complete list, but these are 20 people who were in the forestry unit that ended up in Scotland.
From Orange Walk.
From Orange Walk. And then from those who formed part of the North Caribbean Force.
They went to fight.
These went to fight. 1939 to 1945. Mr. Henry Hornby, Mr. Leonard Sambula, Hubert Moody, Charles Marchand, Nicodemus Bennett, Adolfo Castillo Sr., Hildebrandt Wade, John Ifield, Felix Herrera, Selvin Banner, Isidro Aguilar, Miguel Torres, Manuel Pelayo, imagine that would be uncle, right?
That's my uncle, yes.
Right. Justo Cano, Jose Vasquez, Robert Kerr. And this information was compiled on the 9th of November. And the only surviving member of the World War II currently that we know of is Mr. Adolfo Vasquez.
Yes, he lives here in Orange Walk by People's Stadium.
He lives here in Orange Walk. No, that's only a partial list.
That's only a little grain of sand.
Are there any efforts to do a complete? Would there be the information to me to do a complete compilation? Is it available?
It would take a lot of time. It would take money. Because one would have to really dig into the history of the World War. And like I mentioned earlier, we lost a lot of historical record because the compiling of it by someone was not there. The putting it away for safety was not there. You know, things just went missing.
Haphazard,
Yeah, like if you buy a shilling chips, you eat the chips, you look at the plastic, you read it, and you throw it in the garbage. I don't want to say that what's happened.
Yes, I understand.
But it's like that.
But no importance was given to it.
No, not much. Until lately, when people really start to dig into it to get information and try to build up a historical record.
Now we need it, and now we don't know when to get it.
We need it. One thing I want
because a lot of these people should be honored.
Should be honored. What we do every November, we celebrate our Mystic Day, which is Remembrance Day, to honor the dead and those still alive from World War II. On the 11th of November, it happens, but this year, the 11th of November falls during the week. So we have moved it, well, not we get orders that is a day to use. So we have moved it to November the 13th. So this coming Sunday, at 2 p.m., we'll be having a ceremony at the Orange Walk Ex-Services League branch by Nature Park. That's where our building is.
Okay.
And we'll be honoring these people with a ceremony. And we would like, if the names you read out, if there's anyone out there who, well, these people should have relatives still alive here.
Right. I'm sure. Oh, I know.
So if at least
Mr. Clarence
one
Brown has kids, big kids.
If one could show up at our place this Sunday,
Mr. Pedro Aragon,
it
Mr.
would be an
Pedro
honor.
Che, Hubert Witt. I mean, all of these people
Well,
have...
the minister Aragon will be attending this Sunday.
Okay.
He will be attending Sunday.
Okay.
So he always honors us with his visit on these occasions.
But I think that something much more significant, something much more tangible should be made in honor of these people who literally give their lives, because some of them,
they give their lives, and some they didn't get the recognition they wanted after the war. After the war, that's why Belize City used to have a lot of riots after the war, because when they came back, they didn't get pay. They were those who fought and stayed a while. They were told that they were going to get a small pension. They didn't get the pension. They didn't get pay.
And they already lost a leg.
They lost a leg and no job. Because one of the things that happened when a lot of those people were working, because like we said, slavery days was over, so people couldn't work. So a lot of those people were working. They left their job with the promise that when they come back, they will work. But when they went to war and come back, the boss tell them, sorry, you're gone away too long, no job for you.
I'd like to call on the public to call us and give us an ideas as to how we can honor these people. This is something that I'm asking you to think about. ¿Cómo poder honrar a estas personas que dieron de su vida, su tiempo, su esfuerzo, y sus familiares también? Because the families put punished. You know?
Because a lot went to war leaving their family penniless, Penniless because unemployment was almost nil.
Exactly.
But they went to fight and their families stay back, fighting themselves to survive. Because no money.
So it was a battle going where they were going, and a battle where they left.
A battle where they left behind.
So
it was terrible.
It's not only them, but their families as well. So I'm going to ask you to, if you can, think about it. Give us a call. ¿Cómo podemos honrar a estas personas? Primero que todo, ¿cómo? Si es que tú tienes sabiduría o conocimiento de personas que formaron parte de este grupo y que no los hemos leído, contáctate con el señor Pelayo para que él entonces pueda incluir ese nombre y a la lista y se pueda compilar una lista completa. Ya luego, I imagine that through some form or manner, eventually we can, do some sort of compilation. I think this is important. Yes. And I do believe that maybe somebody even from some other government department can possibly help, and with the help of those people with the family of those people who mentioned there, maybe, some sort of interest can be garnered, and we can possibly come up with full compilation, or at least the closest possible, of those people who went to war. Because it's a hell of a thing for you to have been there and not even be recognized.
And you know, the history is so rich and was so close to us, but yet so far, because now that you call Mr. Nacho Vega, no? He passed away the other day. Had people known him, or you'd known, or somebody could have gone, interview this man and talk to him about the days, but that gone now.
That's what I have been telling people for years now. I even mentioned to some people long ago, telling them, why don't go and make a documentary of Mr. Peters, the broke down man. You know, make a documentary of that man, you know, and put it on the record for
somebody did it,
record. They did, but they never gone in depth, because you know, see.
Then you had Mr. Harnby. I knew Mr. Harnby.
Yeah, I know Mr. Harnby too.
I think Mr. Harnby had retired back to the States and passed away there in the U.S. now.
He used to visit us in the young time when I was a soldier way back, just to, you know, feel.
And I'm pretty sure that Emmanuel knew most of these people you call up there.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, Henry Harnby was very close to my father.
One of the things I want to mention quickly, we have the Puppy Month, and when puppies first came into Belize for the Belize Defense Force, we used to make a joke of it. We know we shouldn't have done that. But we used to get a couple of thousands to sell in the BDF. And I used to get my bunch, because I was in charge of about 100 people. I used to get my bunch of puppy to sell, and I used to fall in everybody on the parade square and tell, look, all you need to buy a puppy, you need to hang a puppy on your shirt. And everybody started real up because they don't know exactly what. Everybody real up, how we want to hang one puppy on my shirt. You know, and after that, we used to make jokes. They never that good. But I mean, a laughing spell. After that, we get serious and we explain to them what it is. And what I'm wearing
there is a history behind that scarlet puppy.
Yes. What I'm wearing here is the scarlet puppy. And this is what is sold
worldwide.
Into October, into November. Worldwide, throughout, and millions are sold. Not in Belize, but in the other place. Canada, for instance, Canada sells up to 5 million of these per year. Because Canada has so much, you know, there are millions of people in Canada, and they honor their veterans 100%. They contribute not only a dollar, we sell it for $1 here in Belize and anywhere else, but in Canada, when people go and sell puppy, you don't even have to ask. You just give them the puppy and they give you $100. Some you give them the puppy, they give you $10. You know, and that's how the money comes about. And Canada is the patrons, well, not patrons, we say, how would I say? They are responsible for Belize then.
Okay, all right.
The Canadian Royal Legion, they are responsible for Belize. Belize is under their leadership. So whatever we need, we deal with Canada. And Canada are the ones who send these down every October for us. Free of cost, and whatever we sell, then the money is ours to help the veterans.
And how much you sell on average in Belize for the year?
Sometimes we get sometimes we only get about 5,000, not much. And I tell you the truth, people are not interested about it.
Because they don't know the history.
But you know, we have.
I'll be honest with you, I think I will agree with Mr. Pellaya by saying that, because what we are discussing here, I've heard more of it in depth many times, especially give credit where you do, Mr. Rene Villanueva. You know, somebody promoted a lot. And they go in depth into more history and call more people names than what we did here this morning. And so I will agree that, you see, Mr. P, one of the things I always tell people that Belize when September come, they don't like we say, but the truth is we talk about patriotism. To me, we have never know what the patriotism, because nobody ever dead for independence of Belize.
True, we're not gonna war. We're not actually fight for
nobody
country.
Exactly, you know. So the Belize is passive, we laid back. We don't know what the shed blood for our land. We know what the quarrel and give minister bad name.
We don't even know how to recognize our own heroes of the past.
So you are finding the people who support these things are the ones who has relatives that have names on there and they say, what, my grandpa me gone, my great uncle me gone, you know. So they are give, but to say, I don't know who the Victor Johnson, but he fight for we, so every year I make sure I donate $20.
Some people do that.
You know?
Some people do that.
Let's take this call. Sugar City Morning Show, hello. Hello. Hello? Yeah, we ask you to please lower the volume on the television when you call. They're waiting for the television to get quiet and then they talk. So please lower the volume on the television.
I think we've mentioned that 1,017,000 times.
We appreciate and we welcome your calls.
The significance of the use of the poppy began from after World War I.
Is that only one of the ways that you fund yourselves, or how does the Belize Servicemen's League fund itself?
They fund themselves by having fundraising, dances, dinners, and stuff
bingo
like that.
games
In Belize City.
Bingo
games and that's that in Belize City.
This is by the Pickwick Club, no?
This
is by the Pickwick Club.
Pickwick Club.
Yeah. Something possible Saturday night broke down dance.
In Orange Walk, for instance, we don't have a fundraising system because it's
Let us take this call. 1 second, sorry, excuse me. Hello, good morning. Yeah, yes. Yes, it is, sir.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, go ahead.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Good morning. Yes, good morning. Oh, Osha, Mr. Osha.
Yeah, that's correct.
Thank you, brother. Nice to hear from you, Osha. Yes, thank you very much.
The next thing, I notice when you deal with the police and the BDF and you find out that these guys build a bond and they term themselves as squad brother. They'll do a spot.
Yes. When BDF started, we had to fight to stay together. But going back to the puppy, the history of this started from way back from the Napoleonic War, when Napoleon was fighting against Britain, and they fought in a place in France named Flanders, a part of the country, and a correspondent who was in that area recording the fight wrote how thickly poppies grew where the dead lies, because the deads were all over the place. But the poppy plant was so hard they no one dead. And the poppy is starting to grow among dead people. And it started to bloom, and the entire area was covered with the scarlet flower of the poppy plant. And 115 years after when World War I started, it was then that it was really taken as a
symbol
of
because we have a lieutenant colonel who was a doctor, and what's his name? Sometimes I forget his name because he was younger than me. John McCrae, Colonel John. He was a doctor. He went into World War I, and they used to have the hospital in a trench, no building or anything. They were on the front line, and he had a hospital in a trench. And in there, he tended to the people coming in wounded, and when there was a lull in the fight, he would raise up on a little ladder there and look outside, see what is happening, and then the poppies start to grow again, because they went in that time when it was time for the poppy to grow. And he observed it, and he was a poet as well. So he put pen to paper and wrote 13 lines for a poem pertaining to the public land. And the poem passed from one to the next, to the next, to the next, until everybody start really liking it and read it, and it gives them courage to more go into battle. And in
man, dollar, if you give up dollar for 1 year, not much, man.
Yeah, but what we do with the money, the money helps the existing veterans, and when the veterans pass away, if their wife remains behind alone-ish and she need help, then
come in.
Yeah, they help the wives too.
Okay. So that leads to pretty much to the question which I was aiming at. What does the Belize Ex-Services League do? Apart from keeping the memory alive, but is there any sort of services that you give to your own existing
the service,
members?
yes, the service that is given, not in Orange Walk, but we are trying to work on that because Belize City right now, as you say, it's an organization that is not rich, so you have to wait for money and donations. What they do, they get some packages, food stuff, and take it to the people at their homes, and also one of the important part is medical. They get free medical treatment at the hospital up to minor surgery. Any major surgery, if you want to remove your heart, then that's a big expense. So that would come out of your budget if you can do that.
But is there legislation that provides for
yes,
this thing?
Yes, there is. We have our own.
There's a chapter in the laws
yes,
of Belize
yes,
that stipulates all of
yes,
this.
everything, and this is the law pertaining to that, signed by the Governor General and the Prime Minister and printed by the government printers. This is the law of it. This has been registered with the government of Belize. So it's there. And one of the only thing we have now and then is that because some members tend to lose their ID, and if something happens to them, they go to the hospital in Orange Walk.
They don't know them.
Yeah, they don't know them, plus they charge them everything they have, they could charge them. But what we are doing, we are trying to replace those IDs so that they have it on their person when they go to the hospital, then they get that free treatment.
Special privilege.
Yes, and it's good, we help. And what they do also, the spouses that are left behind, every month get some finance to help them pay
bills.
Some little bills, yes, along with the box
groceries
and stuff like that.
I think food pantry.
Yeah, and if they want to go to the hospital and there is no way of them to reaching there, then probably somebody will jump in a vehicle or get a taxi and pick them up, take them to the hospital, take them back home. In Orange Walk, we are trying to do a lot, but
you only have one member left, not Survivor.
Yes, one.
Adolfo Vasquez.
But one member left, yes. But what we
that
do,
you know of.
Yes, what we know of. Well, this is the record. They said that one only left in Orange Walk, and that's Mr. Adolfo Vasquez. We hope if there is any more, we want to know. But like I said, the historical records are.
I'll be honest with you.
It's on to for only one.
It shouldn't. Yeah,
it
yeah.
Should be
but
more.
but it shouldn't be this way. You know, we should have all of these things. But then again, let's not cry over spilt milk. Let's try to. You know, I'm telling you right now. If you need help with this thing, I'm willing to help you, but this is close to my heart. You know, I'm publicly telling you, hey, I'm going to help with some sort of research there to help with the finding out of who were the people who went to war, Belize, from Orange Walk. I think I can possibly help you in some respect there.
We would like help.
The compilation, and de igual forma, compañero, si tú te avientas a ayudarme y ayudar al señor Pelayo, por favor, llama y di, ¿sabes qué? Tal y tal persona también fue. Entonces, algún día, luego de un par de años, podemos hacer una gran ceremonia y honrar a todas estas personas que dieron su vida.
Like, probably next year we could have a big ceremony at the park or something.
Yes. So, vamos a poner metas. Let's put goals, but I need your participation. organization.
Yeah, I want to ask any members from names that Mr. Martinez called, if you are listening and you're out there, please, this Sunday at 2 p.m., this Sunday, November the 13th, we are having a Remembrance Day ceremony at our building by Nature Park. If anyone is interested to attend, please come. Let us get to know you. Let us have a talk. Let us make this organization better and bigger to honor our veterans.
Let me just quickly just quickly read these names out again so people understand it. That from the part of the forestry unit that went to Scotland between the years 1939 to 1945, people from Orange Walk who went to the war, Albert Foreman, Winston Mosiah, Hubert Wade, Andres Na, Evaristo Reyes, Donicio Llamas, Samuel Gentle, Pedro Aragon, Pedro Chell, George Avilés, Guillermo Mendoza, Alberto Espinosa, Herbert Reynolds, Selvin Smith, Joe Volga, Clarence Brown, Victor Johnson, Adolfo Vasquez, and Ignacio Vega. And the North Caribbean Force, who actually you said saw conflict. Saw conflict. Yeah. From 1939 to 1945, Mr. Henry Hornby, Leonard Sambula, Hubert Moody, Charles Marchand, Nicodemus Bennett, Adolfo Castillo, Sr., Hildebrand Wade, John I. Field, Felix Herrera, Felix Herrera, Miss Chaff's father. Yes. Selvin Bana, Isidro Aguilar, Miguel Torres, Manuel Pelayo, Justo Cano, Jose Vasquez, Robert Kerr.
Is that Selvin Bana, the one that live in Uniontown? Used to be my neighbor, if I'm not mistaken. He died many, many years ago.
But maybe it would be originally
used to work at BSI in the late days, I think.
When I joined the organization,
he not seen running Mr. Harvey.
These people have passed away already.
He not seen running Mr. Harvey, if it's the same Selvin Bana. He died an old man.
Yes. Well, I know Mr. Felix Herrera is Miss Chaff's. Is Clarence Brown's father-in-law. I know those people quite well.
Well, if somebody from
so I'm inviting you guys, please.
November the 13th, 2 p.m. at the Service League of headquarters by Nature Park.
Papito, Karen, it's your father and your grandfather who will be honored. So, go there.
We want to ask the community at large, whenever we have, every year, October, we start to sell the puppies to raise funds, because that's the only way we can survive and help people. We want them to please patronize the schools that sells the puppies for us. We appreciate that very much. But the public in general, if we walk around selling puppies.
Have you had the thought of perhaps putting up a small little stall that attracts attention? Some place like maybe my People's Store on a Saturday, where you have the names of people, where you have all of those pictures, and where people, and with photographs of people, and these are the people who went to war, and so forth. And you generate interest coming from the people,
We have thought about quite a lot of way how we want to do this. Mm-hmm. We thought that crossed our mind as well. But one of the things is when we go to ask people for help, because certain aspect of it, we want help to prepare certain thing, because I would take a TV out there, a big TV, and plug in a flash drive with some, not war movies, but really historical war movie, which we like. I have the Chronicles of World War II. That tells you everything you want to know about World War II. That is history. So you could show that and let people see, and we prepare everything else. But everybody have to work. They work Sunday to Sunday. So sometimes it's difficult for me and the other people then to actually get one group together to do something. But yes, we mentioned that we will be discussing ways for next year, because we discussed this already for this year and how best we could do it. So for next year, that would be an excellent idea to go like front of people's store or at the park where people pass every minute or somewhere and put up flyers, etc., and sell as much of these as possible because the money is needed really, really.
Carry
really
on the
I think this is a hell of a worthy cause.
Yes.
This no only poco tiempo cause. It's a good. Estamos honrando a las personas, a nuestros viejitos que fueron a la guerra, que murieron, que perdieron un pie, que quizás nunca regresaron.
Some of them, actually, too, I would like to say that some didn't even reach halfway. They died on their way by German submarines blowing up their ship. So they never did reach their destination, you know.
Que
so
murieron por una causa.
Yes. And it's to save
Did
the
you
world.
have an option of not to go? Did you? Was it mandatory? No, it wasn't mandatory.
No, it was not mandatory, except what country it is. I think one of the Caribbean islands then made it mandatory because people actually was refusing to go because of the treatment that they get.
But you mentioned quite well because of the dire economic conditions that we had at that time, that people really opted
more than willing
They said, "Tell her, get me out of this hellhole." Right.
More than willing to go. If they didn't want to employ them as soldiers to go to fight, they stay home and rail up and rip hell because they want to go because they want to make that they pay 76 cents a day being in Belize and £3 reaching England.
That's a lot of money at the time.
Oh yeah, you get $3 a day, you could live for maybe a whole 6 months probably.
Pounds.
But you know, it was very sad because they get some very bad treatment and they serve the country, they serve British Honduras well, fighting the Germans. And it is said that if the Germans had made that move that they had planned, the Germans had planned to invade the entire area. They had plans to land where the United States is right now. They had plans to land on that area. And it is said that if they had landed with a strong force on the soils of what is the USA,
would have been Germany.
That's it. We would have been in hell. Because
this is, you know. Actually, we really here in the Western in this side of
the
Western Hemisphere,
yes,
really have not seen war.
No,
not like Europe, that has seen all the war and so forth. And when we hear a war, we go like, oh, eso de tiempos, y esos otros países, but we've never seen it. We have never felt the fear of, because when you see these movies, especially when you go to the theater and you watch these movies and you live the sounds and the scenes of the war,
people blowing
up, people blowing up, and when you live in fear of perhaps the next bomb is going to be your house, and your mother, your father, your brother, your sister, your wife, your kids are all going to be blown up. You know what I mean?
Well, we see it on the news every day.
Yes.
The fighting in Afghanistan and those places, ISIS blowing up building with children, old lady, grandma, no matter who in it. People are dying.
Yes. So, at this point, Mr. Pelayo, let's just quickly recap your plans. So we know that this is going to be about the plans that you're going to have at the nature park.
By the nature park.
Okay. When is it going to be?
November the 13th, this coming Sunday at 2 p.m.
This coming Sunday at 2 p.m. All
Yes.
those people who would like to be a part of this recognition. I've read a list of names here, and if you are a relative or a descendant, please go there. Make some time out to go, man. This is in recognition of your parents, your grandparents, your granduncle.
Everybody.
Great-great-grandfather
or something.
Great-great-grandfather or something. And I think that it will speak volumes for you, of you really, to go there and to honor the service that those people did. This This is November 13th. This is this Sunday right here at 2 p.m.
At 2 p.m. We start our ceremony, and then we have a little socializing amongst ourselves. But we want to invite people to, especially those ex-service people, because like the ex-service is now embraces police, teachers, no, even if you work at on board and wear a uniform and you serve the community, you could be a part of the ex-service now. First,
So
it used
it's
to be
not only it's not only war veterans.
No, not only war veterans and not only ex-soldiers. It was like that before, but in the last conference they held, they switched it over because in the war, they had policemen, they had nurses, they had doctors, they had some teachers who went to fight. So they said, okay, well, we can't leave anybody out, so change the name to ex-services. So once you serve the country in a uniform, you could be a part of the group. And we want to invite
it's
anybody
equally a worthy institution. No? I mean,
yes.
Because once you've given services to your country, I think you merit all the lauding and all the what you call it. I want to thank you, sir, and I hope that this is not the first time that you come to us, because what I saw this morning was an eye-opener, so much so that I have quickly volunteered to be a part of whatever efforts you do at trying to, raise funds and so forth, because I do believe that in my heart we must give recognition to these people.
Well, I hope to be back and discuss more a little bit further different things pertaining to.
We would like to know
but
more. I think that
what we can discuss, we can discuss these things here, and the people. Because I'm still trying to get a list, a long list, and see if we could find names pertaining to Orinjoa, which we had a list, they say, with about 500, but we have to page it through. But this is from Orinjoa town itself, but like you said, there may be more, much more, because a lot of people went
Oh
to
no,
war.
I do believe, and you know something, the sources of information are quickly, unfortunately, dying off. So we have to be quick about it.
Yes. Quickly, the House of Culture next year, I spoke to the House of Culture director, Miss Cindy, yesterday, and she contributed something to our event for Sunday, because we go around the bag.
Oh, okay.
And anybody who want to contribute something to this Sunday, they could call me, and my number is 600 0931.
Let me take this down.
600 0931. You want to contribute anything to our ceremony this Sunday, please call me. We need all the help we need. We need some finance to pay a bill, and we need some food to suffice for everybody for this Sunday. We'll appreciate it 1,000%. But like I was saying, Miss Cindy, next year we'll be organizing a little spot in the House of Culture, and we're putting up a table and stuff to let people see
the existence.
I believe that at the end of the day, people don't react because they don't know. Generally, that's the rule of thumb. And because they don't know, they're not proud of it. But if I would like to see something spark in some spark from the Belizean people, where they begin to feel proud of those people who served and gave of their lives. ¿Qué pasó?
We have a building, we have a building with open space. Anybody want to join, please want to join, and then what we'll start to do once we get to a group, we could then start going through the historical aspect of it with the people so they know. Actually, I'm going to St. Peter's. They have invited us to go to St. Peter's to have a talk about them with the puppies, about the puppy, because they help us sell too. All schools help, but they are the ones who have called us to say, okay, we need somebody to come and give us a little hint. So that we'll probably do St. Peter's this week or next week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Give us a P.
I'm sure that we'll have you back here sometime
I hope
very
to be
soon.
back, and I hope somebody call me and say, Mr. Palayo, go and pick up $100 for this Sunday. That would help a lot.
You know what? I think that some people are already thinking about it. And I'm hoping that will happen.
Well, we hope it does. We hope
Okay.
it does. Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank
It's
you very much for having me. Yeah, and
8:32.
to the Orange Walk, thank you for viewing.
We take a commercial break and we'll be back with another half of the Sugar City Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Everyone needs a getaway. Why not make it in your own backyard? Learn the history of your old capital. Or venture out on a road trip to experience the village life and be captivated by nature's wildlife, culture, and food. Belize, where you can discover how to be a Belizean traveler.
Buster. They see you and know you're living. Always a star. Yes, you live in color to the limit. Large and in charge. Yes, that's why you rock with Buster. Refreshing range of colorful flavors. Always a star, never the audience. You run things never run you. Yes, you are the life of it, not just a part of it. Your life is never black and white. Live in full color. Buster.
Mr. Persenio claims that he wants to imprison anyone named in immigration wrongdoing.
Once we get into government, we are going to go through this, and anybody that can be held criminally liable, we are going to hold them liable, and if they have to go to jail, they are going to go to jail. Enough is enough.
But even your name is there. I signed it. For recommending a visa. I signed it. It's an international person. I can't.
I have
but
no
it's there in the visa one. That's my point. It's in the visa one. I think it's I saw it once. I saw it.
I did not. I don't remember ever. Please show me the page.
Are Johnny and the PUP ready to lead? Government investment in sporting and recreational facilities countrywide continues under the Belize Infrastructure Limited. In the Cayo District, the Victor Galvez Recreational Park, the Falcon Field basketball court, and the Santa Elena football field are all completed and being enjoyed by the community. The Benquevejo Marshallek Football Stadium is under construction and residents are eagerly anticipating its completion. In Dangriga, the upgrading of the Carl Ramos football field is complete and ready for matches, while the construction of the Dangriga indoor court and multipurpose facility is well underway. In Punta Gorda, the residents are already enjoying the upgraded Toledo Union football field, while the PG indoor court and multipurpose facility is progressing on schedule. The government is committed to building vibrant communities. Your vision, our mission, the government of Belize.
Listen up, Belize. Digicel will be launching its brand new 4G LTE network in December of this year. But to enjoy the super fast LTE mobile data speeds, you are going to need three things. First, you will need an LTE capable device, band 2 or 17. If you're not sure whether your device is LTE capable, you can simply check your phone settings. And if you plan on getting a new phone, be sure to ask if the phone is LTE capable and has the right band, 2 or 17. The second step is to change your old SIM card to the new USIM to be able to experience maximum LTE speeds. Beginning November, BTL will swap out the USIMs free of charge for everyone who has a 4G LTE device. All SIM cards will continue to work as per usual, but you won't be able to enjoy the full 4G LTE experience. And the last step? Well, the last step is to get a data plan. Whether you're a prepaid or a postpaid customer, we have plans to suit you. So no one has to miss out on the Digicel 4G LTE revolution. So, LTE capable device, USIM cards, data plan. Let's get ready for the December launch.
Let's get ready to rumble!
get serious, get bopped.
Johnny Briceño and the PUP went to Belmopan to declare all their assets to the National Assembly. But did they declare everything? Yes, Johnny, bring back the people's money.
Government investment in sporting and recreational facilities countrywide continues under the Belize Infrastructure Limited. In the Cayo District, the Victor Galvez Recreational Park, the Falcon Field Basketball Court, and the Santa Elena Football Field are all completed and being enjoyed by the community. The Penquevejo Marshallek Football Stadium is under construction and residents are eagerly anticipating its completion. In Dangriga, the upgrading of the Carl Ramos football field is complete and ready for matches, while the construction of the Dangriga indoor court and multipurpose facility is well underway. In Punta Gorda, the residents are already enjoying the upgraded Toledo Union football field, while the PG indoor court and multipurpose facility is progressing on schedule. The government is committed to building vibrant communities. Your vision, our mission, the government of Belize.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Bienvenidos, compañeros. I have been touched really with the presentation that Mr. Pelayo has given, because I always used to hear about the Belize Ex-Servicemen's League and Belize Ex-Servicemen's League, and I think that my memory really has been mired with all the disputes that existed in Belize City and all the contentious rapport that existed and blah, blah, blah. And I used to always think that, that's a quarrelsome crowd, you know. But at the end of the day, Belize Ex-Servicemen's League is an honorable institution where they're not only members or war veterans, but really anybody who has served the country of Belize in uniform is now able to be a part of Belize Ex-Servicemen's League. And I think that as Belizeans, as a people, we need to be more, we need to recognize these people and the input that these people, the contributions that these people have made over the length of time of their lives. And rather than it just going into oblivion and we forgetting about it, let's try to make that different. And I'm going to, voy a comparar, I'm going to compare. But we go to other countries and we go like, Avenida de los Héroes y tal y tal y tal y tal y tal y tal. And we don't do anything in that respect. And we holler about patriotism and we holler about this, but we don't know what patriotism is. I'm sorry. We holler that we're patriots, that we're this, but it's only a thing in our minds at the end of the day. We haven't been through the rigors. We haven't been through enough to be able to encumber all those feelings of true patriotism, because at the end of the day, we just haven't been through it. But I think that it need not be that way. Then let's begin somewhere, guys. Let's begin somewhere. Let's begin somewhere. Let's try to honor those people who have served our country. And let's begin with those that we know of here in Orange Walk. And let's support the Belize Ex-Servicemen's League. And if you see people selling puppies, man, help them with only $1, $2 that is, that is being asked of you. And not only that, go do that and beyond. And if you can be there personally on Sunday and share with the Belize Ex-Servicemen's League the memories that you have of people who went to war and never came back, people who went to war and came back with a one leg, people who went to war and came back proud. Let's hear about it. Let's hear about it. Be a part of this wonderful institution, because at the end of the day, all we're doing is honoring those people who are close to our hearts. Our fathers, our grandfathers, our granduncles, whoever it was that was close to you, who you knew went to war. And let's not forget about those things and cast them into oblivion as if they were nothing. Let's try to make all efforts to try to bring them back into our lives and remember them as people who were courageous and valiant, que tuvieron lo que es necesario para ir a enfrentarse en guerra, because some of them did go to war. Some of them died. Let's try to do that. Let's take this call.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Yes, good morning. I want to get in a topic a little bit now. I'm calling about the police in the grass. I heard in news last night that they beat up one man in the grass for police, right? And I call no name, but that same police pending one case because in Nakwa young man in a remote from the rings, and he got a case with that right now. So I'm trying to tell the minister or ask the minister that make them look into that police, because that police is doing a thing and it might get people involved in serious problems. Because they got the case pending right now with a young boy who is not in a remote from the rings. So I want to look into that police and inquire what he, because he is not a peacemaker, he's a hellmaker. And so something going wrong one of these days with him. So I want them to ask them to try the best to talk to him and let him understand that he's a peacemaker and not a hellmaker. Because if he continues like that, something will be going wrong. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Emmanuel, it's almost 10 away from 9. So I think what would be good if we leave that for tomorrow.
Yes.
But I have here something I didn't have time to go over it with you, but I think you'll pick up on it fast. I was given a document here, it says here by a Parents Action Committee. Apparently there is a Parent Action Committee from Technical High School.
PSC, right?
You heard about it?
Yes, but tell me.
And they have put forward some 15 points of corruptions that are happening in Technical High School.
You quickly grabbed mine. Talk to me.
At this time, I will just read them as allegations. Because
And you're making that pointedly clear.
Yes, allegations, because this document is serious. Names has been called on this document, but
Will you mention names?
No, I won't, because at this time it's allegation. I am not a part of the PAC, no, and if I would like to get some clarification on this, especially from the people involved, or from the administration, or from the chairman of the high school, Mr. Bernard, to look into these issues. Emmanuel, he said one, things that happen there, like persons working at night and day on contract, collects for 7 workers, shows up at work at any time, absent for 2 weeks with pay, send workers to his house to work. So somebody, 1 second, let's cut that out. somebody they work like night and day on contract. Then they collect for 7 workers, show up at work anytime when they want, absent for 2 weeks with pay, and they send the same workers then for go work their house. And that's one. Then it sound like they may have behavior. You enjoy that? Alright, he said 2, workers not on school's payroll do not pay Social Security, and it's a part of their hustle. So apparently the same person will have them people to work for, and they pay Social Security for them people, right? And are part of the hustle.
My question is, how is it that people permit to be employed by somebody who does not pay Social Security for them? And be the first one to go rail up at Social Security.
And also we understand that the bathroom attendants are also on strike. They do not pay Social Security. So the bathroom attendants, they go up on strike because they don't pay Social Security there for them.
Well, I don't know. There's legal requirements for you to pay Social Security. You know, you need to have worked a minimum of in excess of 8 hours. If these people qualify for that, well, and they're working more than 8 hours per week, you need to pay Social Security.
Okay. And they get a name too, but I won't read the name. It say somebody sold soft drink and chips for 5 years with no accountability. It look like they steal the money, they hustle off the sports section, and this person is a teacher. He like insults students and fails about 50% of her students.
And fails?
Yeah.
Or purposely? Or
well, I don't know. It doesn't say, right? I did try to read it. They say the puzzle hard to read without their name, but I know they call nobody name.
I agree with you.
So I did try to break it down, right? It said fails about 50% of the students, of his students, drive principals to meeting with no UPA, comes out late drives principal with no UPA, comes late, do not assist homeroom, drinks during class time, and that's corrupted. You get that one? UPA is supposed to be something like a leave of absence or something. I don't really know, right? All right, he said, then no, this one, he said, this next one lives with his own students. Lives with his own student. Hustle from schools and absent more than 40 days in the year. Little or no grades. This is what this then they claim that this teacher live with his student, missing for more than 40 days a year, barely have grades, and to the administration that is okay. One and this next one, number 6 says one teacher has no grades, plays with female students, big time hustler. And I answer the last one there. This is a serious thing. Next one say most of them apparently they take their job serious. Guys just say no grades. No grades, plays with female students. And they give the name of the students. But I won't say it. I'm not the one to come forward and make these allegations sound real or something, right? Yeah, then they put me in a heat. But if PAC have a backup power, then they say, then they're not afraid to come forward, right? Because it's a public business, you know. I mean, you can't serve the community and behave in kind of way. I'm sorry, especially in the capacity of a teacher or a corrupt politician like the PUP. Because I read yesterday, Emmanuel, I don't know if you saw the post somebody put up or said, anybody who elects, people who elects a corrupt politician are, what you call,
There's nothing worse than those people who continue to support a corrupt politician.
No. What you call them when you carry the court for when they charge you for
Convict?
no,
Conviction?
when you know that I do the crime and you support what I do.
It's abetment to the crime.
Something like that. But I remember the word, but it said people who vote in a corrupt politician are assailants or like assistants. Something that you're as good as them, as bad as them.
As bad as them.
You know? Yeah. Okay, then it says here another teacher impregnated a female student. And he not show up no grades and have the name of the student, but I won't say it. It's another one here, impregnate another female student. They look at them in the norm back there. So it is about 2 impregnation. And now government high school, you know. Where they going, Patrick? Where they going? And it says here, another teacher has bad ways, no grades, acts like is the boss, and I believe that's corrupt. Then you have one is a center of corruption, allows anything to take place. You get that one?
My God, I mean.
I know the head had to. Then it says here, one of them married her own student. Then it says here, one of them thief, absence, drink during school, sometimes sell stuff, obtain the landers, and they not produce no grades.
It's supposed that there's a principal there, no?
Then it says, have one here, they accuse one for nepotism. Brother-in-law does electrical work and has shop, steal from school, zinc, covers up for bad teachers, gossip, abuses students, and then not produce no grade. It says, PAC, we demand an audit of the school, we will act. Remove the corrupt administration, remove all bad teachers. There. Tell me now.
I can't tell her nothing. I can't tell her nothing. Those are allegations. I cannot substantiate any chisme. I will not.
Well, I could tell you the same. That's why I'm careful how I read it, because at this point I will say these are all allegations. And
but I'm inviting those people. If you feel that there is something that is really going on wrong there, well then, do something positive about it. Try to change it. What do you have? As you have, there's a number of ways that you can handle this situation. Number of ways. Yeah, you're going the right way. Parents Association. Okay? Parents Coalition. Yes. But make these allegations known to the correct authorities. Send them to the Ministry of Education. Send them to the Chief Education Officer, because at the end of the day, the Belize Orange Rock Technical College
High School
is a government-owned high school and under the purview of the Ministry of Education. So I would imagine that there are people who run this institution who may not know, or if they know, may not be able to do anything about it. I don't know. But
and then again, you see, man,
if it's true,
something
those
like
allegations are true, and you feel that there needs to be something done about these things,
then deal with it.
Then deal with it.
Because this is something like this.
But we will not publish these things unless we know.
Well, I will go as far as not saying people's names, because then we have like 15 points here, and in these points we're talking about 15 to 20 people involved.
So what was it? Is there rampant corruption in this place?
Apparently.
I shudder to think that is true.
You know. For me right now, they're just allegations. I would say, like you said, like yourself, we like deal with facts. If these things are happening and anybody from this organization, PAC, want to come forward and make their claim, then they're free to do so now, Emmanuel.
That's right.
But I won't drag anybody's name into this thing here just like that, you know. Another upon that. But I'm not saying that at the same time, if it is happening there, it should continue. It shouldn't. We have a chairman of the board, Mr. Kevin Bernard. We have a minister of education, Honorable Patrick Fargo. We have the minister. We have the education officer.
Bring this to the attention of the board.
Right.
Bring this to the attention. And you might say, huh, Esther. No. Put them on the spot. Tell them that you told them about it. And demand that they do something about it. It's very simple.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very simple, guys.
Emmanuel, somebody sent me a text that they pulled off a post from a Jamil Reyes Facebook, no? And it says, a good night, BNT Orange Arc branch members who were on strike. There will be a very important and decisive meeting on Wednesday, November 9th at 2016 at the Crystal Auditorium starting at 4:30 p.m. sharp. Topic is docking of pay at teachers' position. As it pertains to that, please make an effort to attend and do be on time. Please sacrifice meetings planning on whatever united we stand, divided we fall. So the BNT they look for strike up and thing again. They don't give up, they're not done. You don't never work. Why am I if you dock your pay for you know what when they tell them, remember when they tell them? November closer to Christmas, or no one feel it, and with that what? 3 weeks more, and then feel it. You need have your counted by days or less than 3 weeks. Because Patrick say you want back your money. Patrick want back your money. So
it's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. So again with that, then again next text here, but again I want to tell you all, someone text you want to send me. I prefer me to call and say it on yourself because I'm not really into call nobody name panel levels here and getting a problem with nobody. So if you have something you want to say on the show, 302-2170 is that number to call, and feel free to voice your opinion. Bottom dollar. Again, these alleged corrupted acts that are taking place, the PAC, I would just reiterate on what Emmanuel said. Take it to the board, take it to the education officer, take it to somebody in authority. So when you start to make noise again, if nothing happened, then they can't say you never won, right?
That's exactly the point.
But for now, we got to get out of here. It's 9:01. I will see you back here tomorrow, Wednesday. We want to say thanks for joining us, Mr. Pelayo, on the show. Remember, the Tacos Fest comes up on the 27th of November. The Tacos Festival here in Orange Walk. Come to Orange Walk all day and eat all the tacos you can eat. More on that for you tomorrow. I want to say for Morris come on cameras, Raheem Wagner on control, our director, Mr. Robert Checky Usher. My name is Dylan Jones.
And my name is Emmanuel. Cuídense.
Stay safe, Belize. Have a wonderful day. God bless you so long.